Every child can learn. Every child must learn. That's the mantra of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. And from all indications, work continues to ensure inclusive, equitable and quality education for all our citizens. As we observe International Youth Day under the theme Transforming Education, we highlight the Education Ministry's push to provide lifelong learning opportunities for our youth. This can be seen by way of investments made to provide academic supplies, expanded the school breakfast program, remove institutions from the shift system, or provide additional help for those who underperformed at the recent sitting of the primary exit profile. There's a lot to be proud about. After all, we are on a mission to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families and do business. Our program continues with a public service announcement and then the news. Stay with us.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, August 12. Ground has been broken for construction to begin on a 754-unit housing development at Rhine Park Estate in St. James. The $8.4 billion project is a joint venture between the Housing Agency of Jamaica and a Chinese company, Hainan Fifth Construction Group Company Limited. It will be built on 96 acres of land in 6 phases over 3 years. The housing development will provide 1- and 2-bedroom apartments, 2-bedroom single-family homes, as well as 2- and 3-bedroom townhouses. Houses range in price from $7.9 to $18.5 million. At Friday's groundbreaking, Prime Minister Andrew Holness recommitted his government to providing affordable housing to Jamaicans.
So we're not just talking about it. We're building the housing, we're providing the financing, and we're reducing the transaction costs to allow you to own your own home. Owning your own home in Jamaica has never been easier.
National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the ministry is on target to rebuild or rehabilitate 149 of the 186 police stations in operation by March 2020. This is being done under a $5 billion project called Rebuild, Overhaul and Construct, ROC. Minister Chang says the objective of Project ROC is to convert all police stations into modern, citizen-friendly workspaces and to provide officers with a comfortable environment that is conducive for work. He was speaking at the ceremonial opening of the Shady Grove Police Station in Luidesville, St. Catherine on Friday.
So there's a direct relationship between the performance of police stations and crime in their station areas. In other words, by improving the physical space of the police stations, officers are better able to perform their duties more efficiently, to have more meaningful engagement with the community, and have better crime outcomes as a result.
The ministry is partnering with the National Housing Trust and the Jamaica Social Investment Fund to improve the stock of police stations island-wide. Government has given a commitment to ensure the Jamaica National Children's Home is quickly rebuilt following last Friday's fire which destroyed the dormitory area. No one was hurt in the blaze, which cost damage upwards of $150 million, with risk amounting to $400 million.
The government will be responding very quickly to have the facilities rebuilt. But the truth is that it gives us an opportunity to take a second look at the facility. Maybe we need larger facilities, maybe we need facilities that are built differently. So it is now an opportunity to do that.
According to the Jamaica Fire Brigade, 2 units responded to the call at around 6:03 p.m. 3 other units were also alerted and contained the fire shortly after arrival. Investigators are to reveal the cause of the fire later today. In the meantime, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, says a full assessment and inventory of needs is being prepared for the children and caregivers who were displaced by the Jamaica National Children's Home fire. Immediate needs include clothing, shoes, personal care items, and toiletries. Donations can be made at 9 Christopher Road in Stony Hill, St. Andrew daily between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. A team of social workers and counselors from the CPFSA were on hand this weekend and will be providing continuous psychosocial support to the wards and caregivers over the coming weeks. Minister with oversight of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, Carl Samuda, visited the children and staff on Saturday at their new temporary home and offered encouragement.
The children they are in good spirits and they have a positive outlook. I am comforted in the knowledge that they are getting the best care that they can under the circumstances.
The Jamaica National Children's Home, which houses wards aged 7 to 18 years old, is a private institution managed by a board and the Methodist Church in Jamaica. Work is progressing on the Essex Valley Irrigation Project, as 4 of the 6 irrigation wells have now been drilled. The project, which costs £35 million, is expected to benefit over 700 farmers in St. Elizabeth and Manchester. It includes the development of a climate-resilient off-farm irrigation system. Agriculture Minister Audley Shaw says another £20 million will be spent to have hundreds of small farmers in Clarendon and St. Catherine benefiting from irrigation infrastructure. This, he says, is aimed at counteracting the impact of the drought associated with climate change.
It's going to be a contributory plan. You put something to it, government put something to it, and we get it moving much faster. Drip irrigation systems. That has got to be a big part of the solution of the climate change environment and the drought conditions that we are facing today.
And finally, Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, Mike Henry, is reiterating the need for investors to move quickly on the establishment of an aerospace college to offer aircraft maintenance, repair and overhaul services in Clarendon. Minister Henry has previously indicated that there is investor interest in developing the aerospace college, which he says could be built next to the Garvey Maceo High School.
That doesn't have to wait on a runway for you to be able to form a training school. The maintenance, repairs and overhaul of planes, whether it be a small plane or a large plane, is now done more in Europe and other countries than here. And that is part of what could be started right away, because as long as they can come and land on the 6,500 square foot runway, they can begin to be used.
The minister was speaking at last week's Denby Agricultural Industrial Food Show. The establishment of an aerospace college is part of the broad development plans for the Vernonfield Aerotropolis. During his recent sectoral debate contribution, Minister Henry said the Airports Authority of Jamaica was undertaking several preparatory activities for the project. These include acquisition of private property and the transfer of Crown lands near the runway. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Stand up and get in the race.
I can become the master of my destiny.
Step up your stride, make we work like a harder. Do it like Veronica, more than a supper.
We can rise above the challenges and shine.
Was with passion in your heart. Make a plan and stop all the idling. You think I saw? We reach out the edging. I can, you can. Like our Olympians, every Jamaican can.
The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information recently announced that it would be taking a targeted approach to meet the needs of students with special needs. Among them, recruiting additional special education teachers, increasing the allocation for the special education unit, and opening 2 diagnostic centers. Watch and listen to how you can communicate with a segment of the special needs population next.
Some things we may say.
No. Thank you. Goodbye. Excuse me.
Yes. Please. Hello. I'm sorry.
Wanna play? What's up? Stop. What's a Wi-Fi password?
Come. Wait. Where's the bathroom? What's your name?
Drink. Water. What's the name of your school? Where's the town?
Taxi, bus park, shop.
How to get a deaf person's attention. Don't shout at me. Don't throw anything at me. That's dangerous. You can walk beside me and touch me on my shoulder lightly, or you can wave at me. If I'm in a room, you can flicker the lights.
Maintain eye contact. Ensure you're looking directly at the person you're speaking with. Try not to let your eyes wander. Also, it's best to communicate in a room that has good lighting. If it's too dark, communication will be difficult.
Please, make sure you don't have anything in your hands when you're talking to me.
If you cannot sign, you can write, draw, show a picture, or text.
Another way you can communicate with me is by using gestures. You can use your body and your hands to speak. For example, if you don't know the sign for bus, you could use this sign. If you don't know the sign for stop, you could use this gesture.
Water is precious. So we encourage everyone to practice the 4 R's of water conservation. Always remember to reduce your use of water wherever possible. Replace water wasting devices with water savings devices. Reuse water wherever possible. And wherever leaks are found, please repair them and repair them quickly.
Don't delay. Practice the 4 R's of water conservation today.
Though we celebrated our 57th year of independence almost a week ago, we're still in a celebratory mood. bask in our rich history with a building that's been around since 1755.
The Jamaica National Heritage Trust is more than just a building that houses artifacts. It's a symbol of our post- and pre-independence period. Also known as Headquarters House, the JNHT is just one of many buildings that tell the story of our rich history. It got the name because it was once the military headquarters of the War Office in 1814. The building was constructed in 1755 and was home of Thomas Hibbert. On November 12 that same year, the Legislative Assembly met there while Hibbert was acting as Speaker. It later became the seat of government and the office of the Colonial Secretariat from 1872 to 1960.
The government of the day in 1872 decided to move the capital from Spanish Town into Kingston. This became the center of governance. This is where the Legislative Council used to sit. And after 1944, this is where the beginning of governments by the Jamaican people, elected through universal adult suffrage, became the seat of governance. After 1944, we had a number of other constitutions which led us to self-government and ultimately to independence in 1962. So it was in this room that Bustamante and Manley and other great luminaries of the legislative period of governance from 1944 used to persuade their party members to vote in their favor. And as a result of a combined effort, we agreed to become independent, and we negotiated with Britain for the purposes of independence on June 6, 1962.
The size of the chamber would suggest that the number of government officials were few.
As a result of independence in 1962, the government also decided that they needed a new building to hold a larger parliament, and that's why Gordon House was created next door. So that's the joining relationship between this Legislative Council building, which is now the headquarters of the Jamaica National Heritage Trust, and Gordon House next door, in which our parliament sits. It's a very exciting corner of Jamaica, a very exciting corner of Kingston. And of course, the political parties today, when they march to Gordon House, one party moves from Headquarters House, as it is still known as, and the other party moves from the northern side of Duke Street and comes together in the Parliament. The cabinet room, or the room in which the government ministers sat, is upstairs, is in fact the boardroom of the trustees of the Jamaica National Heritage Trust. Today, the building is used for a variety of different purposes, which include the storage of artifacts, as well as the various departments of the Jamaica National Heritage Trust. So it continues to be a very important building of history and heritage for our people. The fact that it was built in 1755 means that over these last 250 plus years, it has been subject to all sorts of natural disasters, including a fire next door which nearly took it down. So hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, and other natural disasters, this building has been able to survive them all.
Did you know that it was from this building on October 12, 1865, that Governor Edward John Eyre planned his attack against the St. Thomas freedom fighters? He declared martial law from this house on Friday, October 13. And it was also here that the Right Excellent George William Gordon was arrested in 1865 and taken to Morat Bay, where he was executed.
Last week, the island, through the Companies Office of Jamaica, took another bold step towards the fourth industrial revolution. A new electronic business registration form has been created, making business name reservation and registration possible in a day. And what's more, you can do that from anywhere in the world. Find out how this new online platform, along with other initiatives, are creating a digital society in Jamaica, land we love.
The future of a digital society is imminent, it is irresistible, and the faster you embrace it and get ahead of it, you will lessen the digital divide. In the fourth industrial revolution in which we are, it is all about how do you manage information and data and leverage that in innovation. That's what it is. And the innovation with data now is how governments can use it to better serve their populations. And one of the things that we want to be able to do is to give every citizen an identity. It is not about stealing your identity or exposing your identity, but we need to know who you are. And you need to be assured that when you present yourself, you are known, you are acknowledged, and you can get service. We are now on the upswing of the digital era. Let us take advantage of it. Let us embrace it for what it is. Let us not fear it. We are a blessed people. Let us use our blessings wisely.
How much do you know about our national flower? Get a refresher course next.
Christopher Columbus saw it here when he came. It means wood of life in Latin. It's world-renowned for its medicinal, ornamental, and industrial properties. But round these parts, it's known as the lignum vitae, the island's national flower.
It is a tree that is native to Jamaica, it's native to Cuba, basically the Greater Antilles and parts of Central America. Its native habitat is pretty much dry, alluvial type plains. It also grows in well-drained limestone areas.
This short, compact tree takes over 100 years to grow up to 30 feet tall. Due to its luminous purple-blue flower, alluring orange-yellow fruit, evergreen foliage, and attractive rounded shape, the tree dots across the Jamaican landscape, shading many houses, streets, and complexes. Since time immemorial, the lignum vitae has been touted as the most useful tree in the world.
It produces a gum, and that gum used to be regarded as highly favored for medicinal uses.
Its body, gum, bark, fruit, leaves, and blossom are used to produce medicine. In colonial times, resin from the tree was used as a mild laxative and as a diuretic. The leaves were used as a remedy for respiratory, inflammatory, congestion, and neurological disorders. Its bark eases pain from sprains, strain, rheumatism, and arthritis. And I'm sure many Jamaican homes still ward off flies with its branches.
Its most noted feature is the wood. Because it's slow growing, it's very, very dense. And that density and the weight of it gives it a number of industrial uses.
That's because the lignum vitae is infused with an oil which makes it waterproof. It's ranked as the world's densest, hardest, and most durable traded wood. In addition to being used for making exquisite furniture, the lignum vitae was used to insulate trolley cars for the rail industry. The wood also made the propeller shaft bearings of most ships back in the day. Lignum vitae wood is also ideal for these creations. The lignum vitae is truly the holy grail of plants.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash no paper, no dash no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
the island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
And that's all we have for you today on this station. Continue your engagement with us online at gis.gov.jm or on our YouTube channel. You may also join us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, or download our mobile app for up-to-date information on all things Jamaica. On behalf of the entire team here at the GIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.